Hi everybody, welcome to Joe's RC Corner, and today I just want to give an update of what the status is of the SIG Somthin Extra build. This is going to be a really quick update. I want to apologize to you guys also because I have been doing a lot of this work off camera with time lapses and so on. But I want to be honest with you, this aircraft has it's been a lot of fun to build. I'm really looking forward to getting it flying, and part of the reason why I've been trying to work on it more or less every night and trying to get a little bit done every night here at my house. Let me just go ahead and show you what I've gotten done so far, and you can see some of the modifications that I've already completed on the aircraft. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I've gotten the wings mounted on there right now. And the canopy is just off of it right now. I just sprayed it with some water-based polyurethane. But as you can see, the tail surfaces are just pinned in place because I want to cover these separate from the airframe because it's a little bit easier to do that when these are not attached. And then we will go ahead and glue them on with some epoxy after the fact. I do still have a little bit of work here to do around this. I have the, between these formers here, or the stringers, I'm sorry, between the stringers there's some 16th inch balsa that's supposed to go in here, and that's supposed to help with the covering going over the stringers there. Of course, as you guys already know, the wings are already covered, and they came out pretty nice if you ask me. I'm really happy with how that came out. So where it comes into the modifications, I wanted to do wing bolts here. So as you can see, I added a little bit of extra balsa right here to make this piece the same thickness as here. Probably added a little more than I needed to, but I'd rather have a little extra than not enough. So went ahead and did that. And then I added a wing bolt with a hard point there to spread that load. Did the same thing on the other side. Notice right there, there you go. And I did leave the main plate in here all the way up. I was going to cut it shorter because I don't need that throttle servo point. However, this might be a good place I can mount the receiver on here, so that'll be make that really nice. So I have a nice flat platform. I am debating whether I want to put the AS3X receiver in there or not. I have not decided yet. I know it doesn't need it. I flew this plane for a long time before AS3X or anything like that ever came out, and the plane flew fine. No issues with it, with stability. So, but out here in New Mexico, we do have a windy season, so it might be nice to have that little extra on there. And when the winds start picking up and we want to fly in the weather still. The other thing I did, because I am going to be going electric on this, prop and motor combination here, it's a Valley View RC, sorry, and Value Hobby G-Force. If it'll focus here. There it is. Oh, in and out. Okay, so the G-Force, it's a 4250 800 kV. With a 14.7, I believe it's 14.7. Could be a 14.10, but I believe it's 14.7. That's going to mount right up in here. And what I did also is I added this piece up here, which is basically a copy of the bottom half, which is part of the kit, but the top part is not. So what I did is I just copied the curvature, or the radius here, and we add that on there as well. I do have some filler on there right now, waiting on that to dry, so tomorrow I can sand that. And the reason for that is, as you can see, the fuel bay is open. Made myself a hatch, and had to blend it in a little bit, so waiting for all this to dry, and then I can blend and sand all this down. And then we'll add magnets to this. And probably in the front might do a lip type attachment, maybe in the back and magnet in the front. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to take a look, see how that goes. But we're gonna let those dry. So we have the bay here. I'm going to use my Dremel tool. I'm going to put a slot in here. That way I can have my battery tie down on the original tray here. I do have a little extra support back here for the battery. And the batteries we're going to be using are going to be 4S. So the batteries we're going to be using, and this is just, I know this is an old pack, it's still getting a little puffy. I probably won't be flying with this one. But I wasn't able to get the battery, this 5000 4S, in here, this direction, because of the magnetic latch up here. So what I ended up deciding on doing is I was originally going to make a hatch that goes all the way from back there all the way up to the front. However, I went ahead and we finished the hatch up here. So that's one piece. Grab that over here. I just sprayed it with some water-based polyurethane to kind of let the wood start to soak it in. Okay, so we have the hatches already done. I just sprayed some water-based polyurethane to let that kind of harden up the balsa wood. It's kind of like a balsa, right? It works really great for that and helps the cover and stick really nicely to the balsa wood. So trying to do this one-handed, so forgive me. And with the magnet, it nicely clicks into place. Still got a little bit of sanding to get that to fit a little bit better. We'll get some sanding done on that. I think I need to get some sanding done back here in the back half here, because the front half fits really nicely right here. And then when you get this hatch on there you go. You get a better idea of how that all looks. This is all, it's still got some sanding and some filling to do here, but that hatch will fit right up on there. And there it is. The other thing that I did also on the bottom, because I've already glued this piece in. Originally, if I was going to make this hatch, my original thoughts were to make the front half here, make this tray removable, so that way I could get to the ESC underneath. But because that's glued in place already, what I did is I got some 16th inch balsa, or I'm sorry, plywood, and we went ahead and made a plywood plate underneath with screws. Now I can get to the ESC. Now I can get to the ESC if I ever need to, because now that's all done and ready to go. And the ESC will go right up underneath there, so not a big deal. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how this is turning out. It's looking really good. I really appreciate you guys' support and understanding in regards to not getting a whole lot of video and a lot of time lapse on this build, but you know, like I said, I was trying to work on this aircraft every night, and setting up the camera to work on it every night is quite a bit of work. So, I will bring you guys along with the finishing here. And I got a secret pilot for this airplane that's going to be going in that canopy, and I'm sure you guys will. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll like it. So, and if you're paying attention in this video right now, you might see the pilot hanging out under the wing. So, anyways. Oh, one last thing also. I also, for the landing gear, because we're running a 14-inch prop on this, and because it's going to be electric, I needed a little bit more ground clearance. The new ARF version of this kit, of the Somthin Extra, my dad has this, and the landing gear are a little bit taller. So I went ahead and I ordered the spare part landing gear for the Somthin Extra kit, the EG model, and that's for the gas or electric version of it. So the landing gear, from what I understand, and from what I've seen on my dad's, they're a little bit taller, a little bit wider than the stock landing gear for the original kit. So that's great. That'll give me the prop clearance up here in the front, which is super, and it'll still look like it's stock. One of the other things that I modified on this aircraft also, I didn't mention this. Normally it wants you to use a metal U-shape wire to connect the elevators. I don't really like those. I've done them quite often. However, I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit stronger. So what I did here is I took a wooden dowel to join the two elevator halves together. When I did that, I ended up having to open up this a little bit to allow the freedom of movement of the elevator. And as you can see now, the elevator moves up and down freely with no issues, no binding. Nice and strong between the two because of that hardwood dowel. And then as you can see, the rudder still moves freely as well with that. So that's going to be great. I already finished shaping these as well. So the fillets are already shaped. Now I'm going to cover those separately and then glue those in place. I'm not a fan of trying to glue I'm not a fan of trying to get that covering to go around these curves very well. I remember the last time when I built this airplane years ago, that was an issue. I don't want to do that again. So, yeah, so we'll do that. But other than that, yeah, I'm really happy with how it's coming out. It's looking really good. There's a close-up of where that the wooden dowel I was mentioning. And yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I just hope that I'm giving you guys the content that you want. And just remember, if I'm not, put it in the comments below. And I do keep an eye on those. I try to answer every comment that I see. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm working on or anything or how I'm doing anything, please feel free to put a comment down there and let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps me a lot. So keep building, keep flying, and I'll see you on the next video, guys.